July 14, 1518, a woman stepped into the street and started dancing. No music, no reason. She couldn't stop, and then, neither could 400 others. Strasbourg, 1518. The city was already dying. Famine, plague, a brutal summer. The people of Alsace were desperate, starving, and terrified of God's punishment. Her name was Frau Troffea. On a Tuesday morning she walked outside her home, and began to dance. No music, no celebration, just convulsive, spasmodic movement she could not control. Her husband begged her to stop. She could not. She collapsed, then rose and danced again. For 6 days straight, her feet swelled, then they bled through her shoes. By the end of the first week, 30 people had joined her, not dancing in celebration. Their eyes were vacant, their arms thrashed. They looked possessed, not joyful. Witnesses described their eyes as blank and expressionless, bodies drenched in sweat, crying out for help between convulsions, but unable to stop moving. By August, 400 people were dancing. The city council convened in emergency session. Physicians were called. The city was declared under a public health emergency, the first in Strasbourg's history. The city's physicians examined the dancers. Their diagnosis? Hot blood. Their solution? Let them dance it out. So the city built a stage, and hired musicians to play for them. They built a stage at the horse market. Musicians played drums and horns day and night. More people joined. The music didn't cure them, it invited new dancers. At the outbreak's peak, 15 people died every single day. Heart attacks, strokes, pure exhaustion. The total number of deaths was never officially recorded. The people of Strasbourg had one explanation: it was Saint Vitus. The patron saint of dancers had cursed them for their sins. God was punishing a guilty city. The city reversed course. They banned all public dancing, all music, all gatherings. Drums and tambourines were outlawed. Only stringed instruments at weddings were permitted, quietly, indoors. In September, the council made a desperate final decision. The worst dancers were bundled into wagons, still thrashing, and sent on a 3-day journey to the shrine of Saint Vitus. By early September, it stopped. As suddenly and as mysteriously as it began, the survivors collapsed. The streets fell silent. Nobody could explain why it ended either. Before I reveal what science and historians actually believe caused this, and the one theory that will completely change how you see it, subscribe right now. I will post more untold story. Theory 1, ergot poisoning. A hallucinogenic mold that grows on damp rye bread. Ergot can cause convulsions and hallucinations. The city was starving, they were eating anything. But ergot causes paralysis, not dancing. Victims cannot coordinate movement at all. The dancing was too controlled, too sustained. Ergot alone cannot explain this. Theory 2, mass psychogenic illness. Modern consensus points to extreme collective stress, famine, disease, religious terror. The body can create physical symptoms from psychological pressure alone. Frau Troffea was the spark. Once people saw her, starving, terrified, already believing in Saint Vitus' curse, their traumatized minds could unconsciously copy her, suffering looking for release. This has happened since. Schools in Tanzania 1962, a factory in Malaysia 1973, a high school in New York 2012. Mass psychogenic illness is documented and real. But here is what no theory fully explains: why only Strasbourg? Why that summer? Why did it stop in September? Every answer creates 3 new questions. 8 years later, the physician Paracelsus visited Strasbourg specifically to investigate. He concluded one thing: the dancers were not cursed by a saint. They were sick in the mind. We have Instagram that spread worldwide in hours. Panic that defies logic. Viral behavior. The capacity for mass hysteria has not left humanity. It just looks different now. The dancing plague of 1518 remains the most documented, most studied, and least understood mass event in medical history. It has no final answer. Frau Troffea danced for 6 days and started a plague that killed hundreds. She is the only person in history to do that, with just her feet. Which theory do you believe? Comment below.